Being a Dutchman does strengthen my hopes that Jona is going to do well in this game, but seeing how Naama dismantled him in last game, even though he didn't really do any significant drone damage with his drops, makes me think that Jona is going to have a very tough time. Anyway, we'll see how things are going to be turning out. We are in cross-spawn positions, so that's pretty good.
It is pretty good, and we can see that these two being Ultima Manners. They weren't sure whether it was forced cross spawns, so just announced where they were. They're just like, I'm in the bottom right. Now it's just like, I'm in the top left. Always good. But, Lerlin, would you do the honors? Introduce these two players.
I would love to. In the top left spawn position, known for his SEV pools and all ins off two bases, playing for Fnatic now. It is the blue Terran player. It is Fnatic's Naama, the Finnish player. And in the bottom right, we've got our pink Zerg player playing for Lowland Lions. It is Jona.
Now, are we going to assume that Naama's going to be going quite drop heavy again, or do you think he'll adjust that play considering how he wasn't too successful in the first game? He only lost something like, I think it was 2 workers to 5 drops or 5 drop attempts. It was something crazy like that. Admittedly, it didn't work out long term, but Naama, I don't think he's going to go for it again, even though Star Station does have quite a bit of dead space. Meanwhile, the big thing about Star Station is the third is not too enjoyable to take for anyone. It's always a bit exposed, so being in cross spawn, it's slightly better, but still not great. Therefore, 2 base plays are quite likely.
Yeah, it is pretty likely. We see a gas first opener here by Naama, not something that we see as much in Terran versus Zerg, I feel. So cool to see what he's going to be doing. That in Wings of Liberty, it always, or 90% of the time, meant some kind of a Banshee opener or a quick Reactor Hellion build. And a quick Reactor Hellion build, that is what Naama could be going for. But on the other hand, it could very well be a Starport build too, with some early drops. Are you expecting anything in particular in relation to the map and the spawning positions? I mean, they are in cross. It's going to take a long time to fly across.
It will take a long time to fly across, and therefore, I think Naama, well, as we can see, he's getting the factory down, he's getting the reactor down, so he's going for a more aggressive opening as opposed to a quick expansion, which you do sometimes see, and that makes sense. Because, as I said, taking a third isn't too fun, therefore you don't want to rush out your natural base. Try and just put on a bit of pain, be as awkward as you can, and then maybe take a quick advantage. Now, Jona, we saw in Game 1, was good at dealing with that early aggression, so probably shouldn't be too scared about what could be coming in, but again, Naama, he's a very talented player, as is Jona, so it could do a lot of damage. It all comes down to positioning, how well the lings are used, how well the scouting goes down. At the moment, though, both of these two just comfortably sitting back. Zergling speed just starting now for Jona. We've got the natural base is getting taken now, so very normal time. It could have been quicker, but that would have delayed the Hellions. So between all of those things, I think that Naama, he's just going to try and take map dominance, keep his expansion up, and then probably go quite drop heavy again, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he could. So it is a quick Reactor Hellion build into expansion. It was done with a gas first. So these are some really early Hellions here. It's 5 minutes, and the first 2 non-speedlings that were created are just now wobbling across the map, and they run into 2 Hellions, and they're like, that's some early Hellions. Am I going to be ready for that? Because he's not going to have speed. In fact, Jona is not ready for this at all. He doesn't have a second... Well, he does have a second queen, actually. It is on the ramp there, and it will block these Hellions from going up. Nice reaction here by Jona, pulling his drones to the main. Might want to cancel these Zerglings morphing here. Well, doesn't matter that much.
It doesn't matter too much. Jona, he is happy just running around these 2 lings in Naama's main. Sees the third command center getting constructed, which is a really nice scout out. You know there's not going to be much of a follow-up pressure. Sees that there won't be any drop tech coming in anytime soon. A small supply block here as well for Naama, as he's got 3 supply depots in construction. A few more speedlings running across the map. Jona going to be going for some counter-aggression, and hopefully that counter-aggression can do some nice damage, because currently there's only 2 Hellions on the field, and they're about to go up against 20 speedlings. But the wall-off is now completed, and therefore Naama shouldn't have too much to worry about.
Well, there is not a single army unit behind the wall, so that's a bit of an issue, but luckily the 2 Hellions that were trying to do damage at Jona's base are going to come back. Is he going to get that first, that single Hellion? No, he's not. He's going to stay alive with 20 HP. Some Zerglings have made their way into the base. I don't even know how that happened. What? How did a Zergling get in there?
I am not sure. Wasn't that the one that was in there ages ago? Yeah, it's the one that's been in there for ages, Lilian. You're confusing me now. That's been running around like all day. Like, that was there from the start.
Okay. I'm just a little confused, guys. All is good now. No, Zerglings, that's a bad idea. 5 Hellions are going to kill you so quickly. And that's exactly what we saw. 5 Hellions killing 10 Zerglings real quickly.
And that's a sort of choke point that you don't want to run those lings in there. But of course, Naama going to be quite happy with that. He's got 2 additional command centers just about to finish up. So this means that he's going to be pumping out a good number of SCVs. Currently, the harvester count is 37 drones to 28 SCVs. And therefore, with the third coming down for Jona, it's not a big problem, but these Hellions are going to become a lot more active. And therefore, the Hellions are going to try and get some damage done. There aren't that many Zerglings out there. There are 20 in total, but you've got to get a very nice surround. The creep spread will help with that, but this third is just going to get relentlessly attacked and harassed by those Hellions should any drones try and transfer there.
It's going to be a while before he will be able to secure that. Jona has made a lot of speedlings. He's got 26 and he's going for the surround from the back. Here come the lings. Oh, nice move there by Naama. He's trying to get out of there, but 2 of the Hellions do get surrounded. The third falls, and this is a good move by Jona. He's going to get his map control back. We remember this out of the last game. He did pretty much the exact same thing. Oh, one more shot's going to... Wow. One more shot would have killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 7 lings.
That was incredibly close. Best position Naama could have actually got those Hellions in at all. So, a bit unfortunate he didn't get a bit more for that, but we've got the 1-1 melee upgrades coming out for the Zerg player at the moment, as the lair is also on its way, really indicating that it's going to be this Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk style, which is oh so popular in the current metagame, and that works really effectively, and especially on Star Station where there's quite a lot of dead space around all of the bases, you can really utilize that harassment style play. But 2 Reapers on the way out for Naama, that's quite an interesting strategy that he's going for here, along with the Hellbats.
I agree, Miles. That is completely unheard of to go for Reapers. I mean, they're not really good in straight-up fights at all. And I believe he just cancelled one, or did he not? Yeah, he cancelled one. So he just wanted to make 1 Reaper, but accidentally clicked 2. I don't know.
Now, we do see that there are some Zerglings actually preventing that Reaper leaving the base, but a drop loading up once more. Will this be more successful than we saw in Game 1, Lilian?
It might be. Jona does have 3 bases to manage now, and when he was defending against the drops in last game on Daybreak, it was only 2 bases that he had to manage. So now he's going to have to split his attention a little bit more, therefore this drop might be a bit more successful, but I think Jona has caught wind of it. Yeah,
he should be fully aware. Look at the overlord placement as well. Really nice, all down the right side. Well, there's 2 more as well on the right entrance into his main, so he'll definitely see it on its way through there, assuming the medevac follows is good for him. The Overseer also coming through, getting a good scout out, sees that the upgrades are getting researched, the double upgrades, and also the armory mech upgrades coming down too. 1-1 is nearly finished though for Jona. Baneling speed is on its way. There is no Spire started yet though, even though the lair is done.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. So far, the only thing that the lair has been, used for, 30 Banelings on the way. Baneling speed is also coming out. That's a lot of Banes. Wow, Jona, is he actually going to try to bust through here? The unit count for Naama is quite low, and I think he saw something. He might have caught a glimpse of that. Look at the wall that he's now constructing. That's a very solid wall that's going to be up there.
Yeah, that is a lot. There is a single supply depot to the right, though, that can be easily taken down, but unfortunately the Zergling's blocking the way of the Banelings. This is giving Naama so much time, and there we go, the wall is now broken. The Banelings starting to make their way forward into the natural base, some splitting towards that SCV line. We can see quite a few dead SCVs, and the natural base takes a tremendous amount of damage there too. Good little push, and now a stream of Zerglings on their way through. More SCVs going down. Massive Baneling connects there. Jona doing a huge amount of damage. 25 workers have been killed, putting him ahead. 53 drones, 37 SCVs, and more Zerglings are streaming across the map.
Wow, I cannot believe that worked out as well as it did. Naama, like you pointed out, had a lot of time to react against that, but just didn't have the raw power in his units to be able to deal with it. He's got a lot of production facilities, but they have not been alive for that long. This base on the left, does Jona know about it? Does he know about the third? No, he doesn't. As soon as he sees that third, he's going to be able to deny it, kill a few SCVs, deny the mules, and maybe even do some damage to the orbital command itself before it lifts.
Now, we do have Naama trying to move forward, but these Banelings are nearly done. Baneling speed is finished, but the Hellbats tank up a lot of that damage, but that leaves only a handful of Marauders and Marines out. And I'm surprised Jona actually not trying to take that, because I think he could have easily engaged those Marines and Marauders are on their own, especially with only a single medevac there. But 24 more Zerglings are in production for the Zerg player. The Spire is nearly finished, as well as the 2-2 upgrades just getting started. So currently the upgrades are tied at 1-1, but that will soon change.
Okay, so the upgrades are alright. Jona is still alive. He's actually doing really well for himself, I'd say. He's got the Spire now about to finish up. 1-1 is done, 2-2 is on the way, but 2-2 is on the way for Naama as well. So the upgrades are going to be pretty similar to each other. +1 Zerg flyer attacks get started immediately. How many mutas are we going to see in the production tab? About 7 in just a second, if he has enough supply and larva to use them. And there we go, 7 mutas are going to be on the way. An 8th one joined the queue, and Jona's expanding to a 4th. I would say this game is pretty even. Jona definitely playing good in this game.
Yeah, that big Baneling bust did do a lot of economical damage. It forced, obviously, Naama back, but the big plus side for Naama was he had that 3rd orbital command. And the fact that that's been allowed to stay up is very, very important, because if you're able to get that drop, if you're able to keep that up, then clearly you're not going to take too much economical damage. You can level out quite quickly. You've got the additional mule, but the mutas are now hitting the field. That means that any additional drop play from Naama could be very difficult to utilize, and also just with, well, as we see now, the medevac is getting pushed back by those mutas, but also harassment can be really big as well.
Yeah, harassment is going to be one of the things that mulas specialize in, of course. Naama doesn't look to be in any kind of a rush, though. He's throwing up so many production facilities and he's getting so many upgrades. He's just going to be turtling on his 3 bases, and he won't be moving out for a little while. Maybe when his 2-2 finishes and his Terran vehicle weapons level 2 finishes up, that might be the timing that he's looking to hit. Something worth paying attention to is the creep spread of Jona. Wow, that is pretty sick. He's got like 10 active creep tumors, or maybe even more than 10 out on the map, and a lot of the attack paths are going to be covered in creep.
He's doing a really good job of that creep spread, which is always good to see. It gives you vision, increased reinforcement time, and generally just makes you feel a lot more confident in taking some risks because you know where your opponent's moving. But Naama, he's at 129 of 129 supply, so is supply blocked at the moment. And this is the 2nd supply block of this game for him that's actually been quite a substantial amount of time, a good sort of 5-10 seconds each, and pretty much instantly supply blocking himself again there. But now just starting to move forward, he's going to start scanning to clear out some of that creep because it is just getting so far forward.
Yeah, the creep was almost pushing towards the 3rd base. On the left side of the map, we have the mutas finally going in for a bit of harassment, but there's missile turrets everywhere. I'm not too sure about this, Jona. You're gonna lose 2 mutas. Ooh, 2 mutas to take out a single missile turret. That's definitely not worth it. He tried to look for a window to do some harassment damage, but Naama has got himself really well covered. Look at that. I'm gonna take a look at the structures tab just to figure out how many turrets we have out on the field, and it is 9 with 2 more coming up.
That is a good amount of turrets. We see that these queens are not going to be generating any more creep, spreading those tumors around. The marauders, the hellbats, just were like, no, this is enough. This is getting ridiculous now, Jona. Stop spreading creep everywhere. It's crazy, but still there's creep tumors going. We have got the 5th base just getting taken to the right there. The hive is just a 3rd done. Stim is half done at the 18, nearly 19-minute mark. So very not Stim timing there from Naama, who's getting his 4th command center as well. So economically, these two are quite similar for the time being. The 5th base is really going to be beneficial for Jona, who is maxed out for the moment. 16 Banelings are morphing in. The Mutalisks haven't done that much yet, and I don't think they're going to be able to do that much when there are so many missile turrets down, but hopefully Jona has got a good transitional plan in store. 2-2 upgrades are finished. We could be seeing a quick tech up into, well, 3-3 would get started very quickly. We've got pathogen glands coming down as well, so Infestors likely to be hitting the field soon, but Naama is also nearly maxed out, and that means some big engagements are going to be coming out soon.
Yeah, some really huge fights are going to be going down. Looking forward to that. Looking at all these Zerglings and Banelings that Jona has sitting outside his natural, my god. If you have a PC that is not top-notch, and you want to play this on the highest detail as we are, that's going to be difficult, man. It's even making my computer drop a few, or actually drop the frame rate a little bit towards 30 FPS, because this is so many Zerglings, and the creep, of course, also a very taxing thing on your GPU.
Now, we do have this mass swarm going up towards the left. We've got Naama moving through the center. There's a couple of Widow Mines there. If they can burrow and get some good hits off, it could be massive. But here we go, the Banelings just rolling in. And that was massive.
Oh my god.
Wow, Banelings, good units. Okay, Banelings are really good units. That was the